Alright, I'm gonna do this real quick. So in 2.7, we are confirmed going to get a free 5-star selector in Honkai starrail. Wow, how completely exhilarating is that? I'm so excited to get a free 5-star in Honkai starrail. Though, we are usually left with a question because of this, okay? Because the populace is very dumb and they, lack a personal opinion and critical thinking. So, they're most likely searching the web in order to find which 5-star that they should select in the express gift. But I, as a Honkai starrail veteran professional, I would have to say that out of every single individual on this list, Gepard is the best option to select for the free express gift 5-star in Honkai starrail. And this may become as a shock to most individuals who are good at Honkai starrail. Like, why would you choose Gepard? He's so mid and so bad. Let's check out the Pride Win tier list. Hold up, Pride Win. Why is Gepard so freaking at the tier 2 right next to Jing Yuan and such? Oh my god. That must mean that this guy is not possibly the best option to select on the 5-star banner. Though, if this is the conclusion that you have come to as a Honkai starrail individual, then I'm sorry to say that you were dumb and just stupid. But I know you're asking, okay, how is this possible? Well, here are 3 reasons that prove as to how Gepard is the best option. So first of all, let's go ahead and pull up the notepad, no peeking at the other options. All right, for number 1, what I have is that Gepard literally does everything as a sustain. Now, sustains are bad, okay? They're cope options and they are a detriment to one's account because all they do is really just protect you from dying. That's all sustains give your account. Like, think about Bailu, the worst sustain on the banner. What does she do? She heals you. Oh wow, cool. Let's go down the list even more. What does Lynx do? Let's see. She heals you. Wow. Let's see who else is here. What does Fushuan do? Oh, she protects you. Yeah, it's completely awful. But you know what Gepard does that puts him above the rest? It's his ability to do literally everything. Gepard, of course, can sustain, but he also has a very reliable debuff built into his kit. And because he's also preservation, he can use the trend light cone, which allows him to apply even more debuffs for teams like the Acheron team. And even his freeze on dot comps allows for dots to re-trigger twice as the enemies freeze, and then they take the damage, and then they unfreeze and they take the damage again, right? He's a staple for dot comps as well. I also put that over here. He's a dot sustainer since he can run the trend light cone, and because he applies debuffs, the freeze debuff, which is very synergistic with the dot comp, okay? Because think about it, we're eventually gonna get a good dot team, so why don't you just get Gepard and his little twink ass? Why is he blushing right now? Why don't you just get this guy to sustain for your dot comp? Wouldn't that be absolutely incredible? What else does he do? He has some of the highest taunt in the game. If you can get, what's it called? If you can get the Landau's Choice light cone or his signature, which is free, by the way. That's a free light cone. I don't have it. Why? Because I didn't choose it, obviously, but it's free. You can get it for free. If you can get that light cone or just Landau's Choice, which is very easy. I already have it at like S9, so it should be very easy to get. If you could get that, his taunt value is literally the highest. You will never ever get hit on your what? And by stacking effect res on him, this should realistically be at 100. I benched him, so I stopped building him. This should be at 100, and you could easily do this so easily. It's like, why not just do it? If it's at 100, then Gepard effectively becomes a beacon of taunt, and he cannot be moved. He's an immovable object. That's what makes him so powerful. What else does he do? We're not done yet. He's also SP positive on Lune comps, or on comps that are just so goddamn SP heavy. This guy right here, he has the option to just never use a single CP. His sustain comes from his ultimate, which gets charged up so fast, so you don't even need to press E in those DPS comps. He's completely SP positive. He's like Luocha and Adventuron and the future dot sustain and Fushuan all combined into one single individual. How can you possibly not pull for this guy? Gepard is just possibly the best unit of all time, maybe. But that's just reason 1 as to why you should choose a Gepard for the free express thing. Option number 2, limited sustains are cope. If you are a new individual, if you are starting off, then limited sustains are cope for newer players. because newer players are just lacking in team compositions. They're lacking in units in order to defeat the endgame content, right? And in all of the slots that make up a team, and that being DPS, support, and sustain. Sustain is quite literally the worst option and the most useless option and the most unnecessary option for a new player. And so if a new player is striving to beat the endgame content of the modern days, it is honestly a better option for him to just not choose to waste their 80 pools or even more than that on a limited sustain, because it is by far the most unnecessary aspect to building a team. It is more important for newer gamers to choose for DPS or to choose for support, because those are required to beat the game. While the DPSs are very bad, the free DPSs, they simply cannot beat the content. The free sustains in this game are more than enough to sustain your teams, like a Lynx. Where is she at? Lynx and even Gallagher, they're free somewhere. Like, you could, I swear I got them for free. You could just get them for free somewhere. Come on, these guys are 4-star units, free by the way. They are free and they can easily sustain your account. I've been using damn free sustains for my entire whole damn life. I even used March 17th, who was the most shitty ass stinky butt sustain ever, and I can still sustain with her. So yeah, sustains, limited sustains, they're a major waste, because what are you doing? You're basically wasting all of your precious pulls that can be going into other aspects of your team. You can pull for DPS like Acheron and start your hyper carry composition. You could pull for like Sunday in order to support your future DPSs. But what are you doing if you're just pulling Adventuron with no other DPSs? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're gonna DPS with Adventuron? No, you're gonna sustain like your Arlon with your freaking Adventuron, and he's gonna do 2 damage, but at least he's alive, right? You are dumb. Do never, ever, look at me, wait, look into my eyes. Never. And that is one of the reasons as to why selecting Gepard is simply just the best option. Because Gepard, he's not a limited sustain, but he's also the best sustain of all time. So what's the point? Just choose him. And finally, for option number 3, as to why you should be choosing a Gepard on the Express gift. And that reason is because every other 5-star on the Express is cope, and they have been power crept. And Gepard is the only character who completes his niche without being power crept, okay? And this may stand as another hot take of the world, but this take honestly still stands today, I would have to say. Let's take a look at every single unit on this banner, okay? And let's make an assessment of whether or not they've been power crept. Yeah, Himiko, we're gonna start with her. She's a very popular option. Everyone is suggesting that you should choose Himiko on the Express gift, which is honestly completely stupid. Why are you doing that? Himiko is not the best option because she has been power crept majorly as time went on, because her niche is that she is a super brick main DPS, and we already have Firefly, which is a better version of her. You could just get Firefly. You could get Yappa as well. She's been completely power crept. It's completely a useless unit. And what else does she do? She's also like a pure fiction merchant. But to be completely honest, Herda is also just way better at doing that shit. You don't need her that much. And there's also a new Herda coming out. Why would you choose Himiko if all these new units, all these pure fiction merchants are completely abundant? And we also don't really need another super break merchant as well. Himiko is a completely terrible option. Now moving on, we have Welt. This guy is he's so bad. What is he? Welt doesn't do anything. What is he? He only just slows you down. Like, Gepard does that, and he does it even more reliably. Come on, he's completely so useless. He's a debuffer. Gepard debuffs better. He is a pseudo sustain blood. Gepard is a real sustain, you complete fraud. Okay, moving on. Yanking. We have Jingliu, power crept. He'll never be ever good, never in his entire life. Clara is completely overpowered, but already been power crept by Yunli, just a younger version of Clara. Bronya, we're getting Sunday and Sparkle also power crept her. Completely a useless unit. Like, why would you choose Bronya when Sunday's coming out? Are you dumb in the head? What the hell is wrong with you? Kill yourself. And finally, Bronya, Lynx and Natasha power crept her. Completely useless. But if we go over to Gepard, we take a look at all of his options. We realize that he has actually not been power crept yet. And I know what you're thinking, okay? Adventuron completely power creeps Gepard in every single... To that, I'd have to say that you're wrong, because Gepard, wow, he does some similar things to Adventuron. The thing about Gepard is that his taunt value is higher for one. He can freeze, which is better for dot comps. He's a better just dot sustain overall. And he's also SP positive. Adventuron, he has to skill or you're gonna die. Gepard doesn't have to skill because he starts off the round with the shield. And what else does he do? His ult shield is more powerful than Adventuron's, okay? Because Adventuron has to skill, which means that Gepard has him in terms of being a better dot support and being a better SP increaser, okay? And he also has a higher taunt value, and his debuffs are more reliable. But yeah, Gepard, he has a completely separate niche from Adventuron. He does not get power creps by him at all. Anyway, that's pretty much all that we have here for today. So choose Gepard. Yeah, vote for Gepard.